Hey guys, and welcome back. I didn't make any tutorial for a while, but I was pretty busy. I had projects and different priorities, but today I'm here and I have another awesome tutorial for you. I hope you'll like it. And today we'll learn how to compress images using PHP. I will show you two methods. The first method, we will build a PHP function. We will build our functionality from scratch using PHP. And then the second method, we will use TinyPNG API. They have a really cool PHP library which we can just download, install, and use it and compress our images. So you see right now I have already built it here, and I'm gonna show you how it works. If I'm going to my downloads folder right now, I have three images here. I'm gonna take this one and check the size. So the original size is 4.58 megabytes. Now let me go back. So I'm gonna grab that image, I'm gonna upload it. And you see I didn't have to click on the submit button, which is okay. It just uploads it by itself after I choose the image. This is a very cool functionality. I use Ajax here as well, and I think you will learn some other cool stuff here. So if I'm going right now to my uploads folder, I can see that image here, and then let me check the size. So you see right now the size is 1.46 megabytes, which is still too much. I think it's still too much. But this function can be improved. For sure it can be improved, and you can improve it. I'm just gonna show you the basic. So the original one, it was 4.58, and then the optimized one is 1.46, and it didn't change the dimension. It changed just the size and a little bit of the quality. If I open this image, you see this is the original one. The quality is really good. If I'm going to the optimized one, you cannot see a really big difference, but there is still a difference between this one and the other one, because that's what our function does. It plays around with the quality, and I'm gonna show you how it works. So this is my these are my folders and my PHP files. I have them here, JavaScript too, and I have three folders. The first one is Ajax, JS, JavaScript, and uploads. In my Ajax I have the upload.php file. In the JS folder I have the upload.js file. In the uploads folder, here are the images after we upload them and compress them, and then the index.php, as you see right now here. So let me start with index.php. Here is just an HTML page. If you want, you can write it by yourself. If you want to practice and type and get used to code, just type by yourself. I would really recommend to type it by yourself, but if not, then I will leave a link to GitHub on below this video in the description, so you can just download it from there. So I have here the HTML tag, HTML5. This is the header section. I have the title. I call the jQuery library first of all, and then I have I include here my JavaScript file, which is upload.js from the JS folder. A little bit of CSS. Here I have just two classes, so I didn't create another CSS file. And below is the body section. So here I have a div class container, which is from here. And then I have the form. There is no action for this form. We don't have an action. We have the method which send the data through the post method, and then it has an ID. Pay attention to this ID because it's very important. And then below we have our div class, which is upload alert inside of this form. This is the upload alert, and by default we don't display it. Ajax is gonna display it if it has an answer for us. Because Ajax is gonna show us the result right here in this div. And then we have our input type file. This is the name of that input in that field. And then on change tag, this is the tag that calls this upload img JavaScript function right after we choose the image, so we don't have to click on this submit button, which is below. You see input type, submit value. Okay. Alright, let me show you now the upload.js file. So my file looks like this. It's just a JavaScript function, a little bit of validation here in case the file API isn't supported on the browser, or if it couldn't find the file input element, or if the browser doesn't seem to support the false property or of file inputs. And but the thing is, like, we assign here our input. We get element by id and we assign it to our input variable, and then using this variable we do all this manipulation here. So below this validation stuff, we have if it went through all of them, and they didn't stop on any of these steps, then it comes here to the Ajax function. So we have another variable which is result div, and we assign to this variable the upload alert class, which is this one, because this is the place where Ajax is gonna show us the result. And then below we have another variable, and we assign to this variable a new object which is form data, and we assign all the data from our add form ID. This is this ID. So we assign all the data from this form to this variable here. And then we have our Ajax function. This is the PHP file which has all the functionality. We call this upload.php file from Ajax folder. We send all the data through the post method. We have few parameters here: cache, content type, process data. We have the data, which is form data. This is the data from our form, and we send it. And before we send it, Ajax shows us this loading word, and this is fade out and fade in. It's a little bit of animation, just disappear and then appear back. And then if everything is good, we reset our field. We reset the value of our field because it doesn't have the image's name here. If I'm choosing it again, you'll see it has this name here, you see, in the field. After it uploads the image, if everything is successful, we reset this field and it doesn't have the image, in case we want to choose the same image again. That's the reason I'm trying to reset it, and I do reset it, of course. And then in case there is an error or something like that, we can see in the console. So let's go ahead and open our upload.php file. First thing, this is a little bit of security here. We don't allow anybody to access this PHP file using the browser, using their through the URL here. So if somebody types in here Ajax and upload.php file, we show hello, because it doesn't allow anybody else to access this PHP file. This PHP file should be accessed by the Ajax only. Here we have a function, compress image. I will come back to this function later. And then below we have few variables. We get the data about our file. We get name. In case we have spaces in the name, we just remove it. Extension, we get the extension, the type, size, and then we have the maximum size, which is about 20 megabytes right now. We don't allow anybody to upload images which have more than 20 megabytes. And then this is the image's name. So here we check if there is a name, because sometimes it may not have any characters in the name or something like that. So if it has, if this variable returns true, then we double check it. If it is different than empty, then we do this one. The only thing I'm doing is just I always double check when there is something important. And if there is a name in the name variable, then we check the file name, how many characters does it have. And if it has more than 300, then we show the image, image name must contain less than 300 characters. Let me just change it. The image name must contain less than 30 characters. Anyway, We have another if here. We check the extension. So we have, for now, we allow just two types of images, which is JPG and JPEG. So if the image is JPG or JPEG, the extension, or if the type is JPEG and or JPG, and if the size doesn't have more, if the image doesn't have more than 20 megabytes, then we do all this stuff from here, which we assign to our name variable the new name of the file. We will create a new name. We'll have another name. It's time. I always put time because this function returns a number, a unique number all the time, because it counts the time. It's never, it can't be, it doesn't return, it never returns the same number again. And then below here we have the location, which is uploads. This is the folder where we will save our file, and you see this is the new name. We will save this image in this folder. And then below we call our compressed image, which has three parameters. The first one is the image name, and then the location where we want to save it, and then this is the quality I was talking about. So the quality is from 1 to 100. This is the percentage. I put 70. If you leave it 100, then the size is not, it won't change. So if you put 70, it's like 30% off from the original size or something like that. And then below here we show the image after we save it. So let me show you the compress image function. Alright, this function looks like this. Let me see. So we have three parameters. This is the source URL, this is the image from where image comes, the destination URL, and the quality, which is 70 in our case. So we take the image, and we get the image size, and we assign it to our info variable, and then after that we check the image type. So if the image is JPEG, I also have GIF here, GIF type of images. I just left it like that in case I will want to change it later, but for now, just to show you how it works. So if the image is JPEG or GIF or PNG, we have all these functions. They are native functions from PHP for all these types of images, and then we just create them. We create a new image, from the previous image. So we have the old image here, and if the image type is JPEG, we create another JPEG image, and we assign it to our image variable. And then below here we have this function, which is image JPEG. So this function takes the image, the new one, saves it in our upload folder in the location with this quality, which is 70. So it takes off 30% from the original quality and saves it with a 70, and then returns just the destination URL. And that's how it works. That's how this function works. It's not very complicated. It's easy to understand. And now let me show you the second method. So on the second method we will use TinyPNG. Let me just close this stuff on here, and then the index. I'm gonna leave just this on here. So if I'm going right now to TinyPNG, you can still upload them from the website. Let's see, I have this image which is 4.58 megabytes. Let's see how much this is gonna optimize. It takes a while. So it took off like 79% from the whole size, and right now it has 1 megabyte. We can just download it and use if we want. But this TinyPNG, they have a developer API, and here you just type in your name, your email, and get your API key, and they're gonna send you an email. Open that email and you will have their button. It should be a green button. Click on that button and then they will redirect you to your account. You will have already an account. You don't have to choose a password or anything like that. And then you'll see on the page after you clicked on that button, you'll see they will show you what's your API key. It's really big. The font size is really big there. And then here they have the instructions how to get started, and we're gonna choose from they have here on the footer, they have PHP library. Let's click on it and it tells you how to install. So we should use Composer. You should have Composer, install Composer. So just go on Google and type here Composer download, and the first link it appears, it should be getcomposer.org. So click on that link, go to download, and here you should have download and run Composer setup.exe. Just download this one for Windows. This is for Windows. Click on this link here, just open it and follow the instruction. I already have it on my computer, so I'm not gonna install it again. And after you install it, come back here and open your CMD, like this. I use Git brush, but just I don't want to make you confused. Let me see. I'm gonna use this one. So we have cd c XAMPP and then htdocs, and then here we have, let's go to, from htdocs there is Ajax. Go to Ajax, and then here in our Ajax, we are here right now. I'm gonna create another folder here, Tiny. So let's come back here, let's go to Tiny, and then here we should write this command. I'm gonna copy it and paste it here. I'm gonna press enter, and now we're waiting for it. It's gonna install it. It doesn't take too long. Alright, it looks like it's done. Let's check it now. Okay, there's the folder, and then here we have the vendor. It's installed. Okay, let's close this. And now we should follow their instruction. They tell you how to work with this one, but I already have a PHP file. I built it, and I can show it to you. I can show how you can work with this one. So I have it here. I'm gonna copy this file from here, and then I'm gonna paste it. Close this one. I'm gonna paste it in my Ajax folder, where is the upload.php file, and then I'm gonna open it. Okay, using my Notepad++. So that's how your PHP file should look like. This is the upload JS file, but let me see, upload PHP. So it's almost the same thing we have in our upload.php file. The only thing we changed is here in the middle, like where after all this validation stuff. So you can see we have, but here is that security stuff, and then we require the autoload.php. Make sure you know where you installed your TinyPNG library, because right now mine is in Tiny folder. This file is already in Ajax folder, and then in this Ajax folder I have the Tiny folder, and then here comes the vendor, and then autoload.php, and then here you should paste here your API. After you got that email and you clicked on that button, you should see your API key right on that page. Take it from there and paste it here. Copy it from there and paste it here. And then here we have our we get the data about the file, extension, type, size, the name, and as I said in the previous PHP file, it checks the name, how many characters it has, extension here, the size, and then here it comes this is the TinyPNG functionality. We have a source. This is the source variable, and we assign to this source variable using the TinyPNG objects, and we send this file, the image. It goes through all these functions and objects, and then after that it just saves it. We just type it here where's the folder, where we want to save the file, and then we choose this is the new name for our file, and then after that we just show it here. So this is the TinyPNG functionality. If you go right now on this page, you can find them right here. So this is the unoptimized file, and this is the where we want to save the optimized file. You see, this is the unoptimized file. This is the file we just chose, and then this is where this file is gonna be saved. So let me open my upload.js. Let's change this on upload, from upload to TinyPHP, and let's see how it works. After you changed it, make sure you refresh the page. I always do like this. I press Ctrl U, and then I check my file here. I click on my JavaScript file, and then I refresh it. I check if everything is changed here, because sometimes they get, my browser saves them in the cache, and then after that I'm just trying to figure out why it doesn't work. So let's see how it works. Let's go and let's upload this file, which has 4.58 megabytes. Okay, choose it. It shows us loading. It's gonna take longer because it loads, it calls an API. We use an API, which this API is processing data from TinyPNG server, and as we see here, we have an error, and that's because I don't have my API key, or I didn't paste my API key here. Now guys, I'm gonna pause this video and I paste my API key, and I will close this file so nobody can see what's my key, because it's a secret key. They also give you a limited amount of images you can use. It's like, I think it's 500 per month. So let me just pause it. Okay, I got my key. Let me refresh this page. I choose my file again, and we are waiting. It takes longer, but it optimizes it better. Alright, this is our image. Let's go to our folder and let's check it. Let's go to htdocs, uploads. Oh, I have so many here. I'm gonna delete them because I don't know which one is the latest one. So I'm gonna refresh, choose again. Yeah, it takes longer than usually. When you build it from scratch, it's faster because it runs on your server. So let me go back to the folder and see. Let's check what's the size. So voila, the size is 984 kilobytes, which is much less than our function did, and it doesn't lose the quality. It's still the same. They did a really good job. I like TinyPNG. I use them for my blogs when I have to optimize. I use for my projects when I build something from scratch. They also have a plugin for WordPress, I think, as much as I remember. They should have. Yeah, they have a WordPress plugin, Magento here. You can check it here. You can download and install it on your website if you want, because this is really gonna save you a lot of space on your hosting. Alright guys, that's it for today. If you like this video, like the video, and if you have any other questions, just leave a comment below this video, and I'll do my best to help you out. Thank you, and see you in the next tutorial.